August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this. August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this. August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this.
What's up, people? Hotep Jesus, we are back with another sharp conversation with Hotep Jesus. Thank you for joining us. I know you didn't want to see the commercial again for Hotep Nation Weekend. I ran that a bunch of times. We are live. Welcome. We have a star-studded event lined up for you today. Spur of the moment, not scheduled. I love when that happens. It's super organic. Shout out to our special guest today. I'll be bringing him on shortly. Don't be a grifter. If you got something to say, hit the super chat button. Throw some shekels down. At the very least, don't be a grifter. Hit the like button. Likes are free. You go ahead and hit that thing now. Shout out to the mods. Mods will be keeping everybody in check. We'll have a great conversation today for people not aware of what's going on. There was a Trump debate between An0maly and Styx. And it came across my radar a few days ago. I know I believe the moderator was the Ralph Retort, and this was held over on Kill Stream. Shout out to the team over at Kill Stream, doing great work in the debate area. So yeah, so this is, I've heard about this debate, and then, today I didn't get a chance to watch the debate live. I did watch some of it. My name was brought up a couple of times, which I found rather interesting. And the things said about me, I found to be rather interesting. And I checked my DMs, and Styx hit me up, and he was like, "Yo, I want to talk." It's like, you know what? I'm like, kind of caught me in between things. I got some time right now. Let's talk about this thing. So today I'm going to bring to you a very powerful person in the social media sphere. Somebody you should probably definitely have on your radar. A great voice of freedom. I'm going to bring on Styx. Make some noise for Styx, y'all. Styx, welcome. Welcome to the show.
It's good to be on. I see you're enjoying the food.
Yeah, if anybody isn't aware, anytime I stream, there's like a 99.9% chance I have food. And we do that to deter the Puritans. You've
got to get some Taco Bell, though. It's better.
Ew, Taco Bell.
Oh, come on. The soft tacos are good.
Oh,
most of their offerings suck, but the soft tacos, they're decent.
No.
If they had actual hot sauce there and not just tomato, but
no, sir. I had one of my homies' little sister used to work at Taco Bell. She came back and told us what was going on. She was like, "Don't eat that." I'm like,
My mom works at McDonald's, and she's the same way. She will not eat anything from it. Keep in mind, McDonald's is the same as that Wendy's you're eating.
You know what?
Just remember where it came from, a processor somewhere.
You know what? You got to believe in transmutation. I don't, do not try this at home, kids. You have to be a reincarnated ascended master, be able to transmute the hydrogenated oils of the superfood industry. I'm sorry, fast food industry. Styx, you hit my DM today. Why'd you do that? Why'd you reach out? Why me? How did I get so lucky to be selected that you wanted to speak to me right after the debate?
Oh, you flatterer. No, part of the reason is actually several people had messaged me before I debated An0maly earlier, and they had told me that I should watch your debate with An0maly to prep, and actually I did. So thank you in part for helping me to win that debate.
Awesome. I was able to
It was
contribute.
Good debate prep. Yes, and I did think part of it at the end was a little bit disingenuous, and actually I've been a fan of his as well. For some time, I've watched his videos, and I still don't really have a problem with the dude. But I just thought that the way that he went after you, insinuating that nobody cared other than for your Trump takes, was disingenuous. And I actually, at first, I was almost taken aback, because I'm like, well, you can't have watched much of his material. Hotep Jesus is about more than that. And he tried to do the same thing with me, actually, during the debate. So then I wasn't surprised anymore.
So the debate must have went funny that you felt like you had to vent, right? You're like, I got to get some shit.
Oh, it's not venting so much as gloating, I think. But
oh, wow. Hold up. Shots fired. Oh, man.
No, seriously, it was fun. And I am glad to have been able to talk to the dude and debate him and stuff. But some of it was a little bit off the rails. Like insulting, 500,000 people that subscribe to me, but
how do you do that?
It's just little things. Well, calling them single IQ mainly.
Oh yeah, I saw that part.
Single digit IQ. The QAnon thing. Do you? I should probably ask this first. Do you believe in the QAnon stuff, or?
What you mean? This is a religion, or do they have a god or something? What do you mean believe in?
No, no. Like, do you endorse the concept of QAnon, or because I don't.
I would not say I would endorse. Yeah, no. No, that's a
Yeah,
no.
because same, but he tried to dovetail that in as though like it was a conspiracy theory if you still support Trump in any way. So I was like, what?
I think there's levels of support,
Yeah.
right? You know, and people will say, you know, like it's almost as if it's diehard, you know, support. Like I'd take a bullet for the guy, right?
Yeah.
No, you know, it's not. It's, you know, and it's like certain levels of support. Like support could be like, hey, I retweet the person. You know, the next level, even when we talk about this in marketing in the business world, we say the next level of support would then be purchasing some material. Then the next level will be, hey, here's some charity money, here's some donations. So I think there's levels to the support. Like, hey, you know, I throw a little $20 on. I like this guy. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit different than. So you know, I love for people to define what support means. So for you, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, in the sense that I voted for him twice.
Okay.
Would vote for him again if he chooses to run. But I gave him like a 6 out of 10 presidency. I think he did a good job. Better at least since any president since first term Reagan, arguably somewhat better. He's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the insinuation essentially during the debate was that I thought that Trump was perfect and would go out of my way to apologize for him, even if he did crazy things. Like I think An0maly essentially proclaimed that he was, for instance, responsible for the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th. No shit, by the way. I mean, it sounded like an MSNBC bit. Among other things. And I'm thinking to myself, I wouldn't support insurrection, but a fiery but mostly peaceful protest, who cares?
Does
CNN taught me that one.
Does the An0maly condemn the 6th?
I don't honestly know. It was a little bit lost in translation at the time.
Did he use that verbiage that this was an insurrection?
He insinuated that Trump had led the people to the Capitol protest, riot, insurrection, whatever you want to call it. And when I called that out, of course, this was considered problematic. So
why was that problematic?
I don't know. I was confused for part of the debate, in all honesty, because I know that, I mean, I share probably 80-90% of my beliefs with the dude. I mean, he's marginally libertarian / kind of new right-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we're far apart, and yet we've deviate because I don't believe that Trump has caused all the problems in the world, and he, I don't know, for some reason thinks that he did.
Let me read some.
And in watching part of your debate with him, I think you had the same confusion at times. It seemed like he went off the rails and you didn't quite understand what the hell he was talking about.
I was left confused at times during our debate. WZG, $5 super chat, said Styx and Hotep Jesus smoking at An0maly pack. That's funny. Def Jules $4.99. He said supporting the channel. Shout out to Def Jules. Appreciate you, homie. Did you feel like An0maly had some valid arguments, you know, with the Operation Warp Speed? Because I believe Trump was probably pro-vax, and you know, he was definitely involved in Operation Warp Speed. Did you feel he had an argument with that?
Somewhat. And the thing is, like, and I would say this, I'm pro-vax as well. Okay. If people want to receive the vaccine and need it. Mm-hmm. So if somebody wants to get it and they're 75 years old, they're immunocompromised at 500 pounds, absolutely. I have no problem with that. And I have no problem with helping to develop those things. My problem lies in mandating people to get vaccinated, holding it over their heads for travel or employment, or people who are otherwise healthy. Like we're both youngish and healthy. We don't need, technically, for YouTube's purposes, I won't say we don't need to be vaccinated, but we have less need. It's less transcendental in our cases. We probably won't die if we get COVID. It's different from if it's a little old granny who's 80 years old and 500 pounds. That's what I would say. Developing the vaccine is perfectly fine, but the people who actually need it should be the ones receiving it, and everyone else should be left alone. They should be able to go to the store without a mask, without a vaccine. The concept of COVID passports is probably the most insane thing I've heard all year. And so forth.
What about his arguments about Kemp?
About what?
Kemp. He was talking about Kemp, governor of Georgia, and Trump was condemning him, and he played the Fox clip. That was early on in the debate. He played the Fox clip. What are your
When
thoughts
he
on?
opened, well, that was mostly a reaction to media haranguing at the time, just as it was a reaction to legacy media haranguing later on, as the link that I pointed out actually very early on in the debate, which I archived, it's probably still there on the live stream. The idea of Trump talking about Sweden and their lockdowns and or their mask mandates. He was reacting to being perturbed by the media, who said that he wasn't doing enough and or wasn't doing anything. And so he would point to examples exterior from himself and say, well, they're doing less. Therefore, I'm doing what I can do. It's simple strategy. And I may not agree with that at the time, but it's not him trying to force Sweden to lock down, trying to force Georgia to stay in a permanent lockdown. It's just to draw a contrast. It's pure political posturing.
What do you think that An0maly did well in the debate? We talk about a lot of things, you know, we want to critique people, but if you had to pat him on the back and say, you know, you did these few things well, what do you think An0maly did well in a debate with you?
Well, most of the problems that he points to, I actually completely agree on. Inflation's a problem. COVID passports, lockdowns, all of these things, most of the problems that he pointed out, I agree with him on 100%. It's just that there's a different culprit responsible for those problems. He says it's Trump or Trump adjacent. I say Trump had little to nothing to do with most of them. And that's really what the debate boiled down to. Wasn't even so much about policy. It was just about who's responsible for the policy.
Yeah, that was my take. I was just like, how you gonna blame all this on Trump? You know,
Trump caused 5.4% inflation 6 months after being out of office.
Well, we were talking about the money printing, and I just put out my book, The Patriot Report. It's unmasking the conspiracy of money in war, and I literally did the money trail in the book that points back, you know, going back 16th century Europe. You know, so when he talk about this money printing thing, I'm like, how does Trump get blamed for money printing? I'm like, I think that's like as American as apple pie.
Yeah. Well, even the concept of inflation, and a lot of people don't realize this. Inflation is bad, but the only time you talk about it is when it's bad levels of inflation. The currency has to be able to inflate in accordance with GDP. It's just when it's excessive, when it goes beyond the actual economic growth, the dollar's worth less and less.
That is true.
What we have under Biden is, for the last 3 months at least, we've had, I think it was 4.6, 5.2, and now 5.6. We've had excessive inflation, considerably excessive. The top that it got to under Trump, and this had nothing to do with the CARES Act, which An0maly pointed out, was 2.9. And that was basically just in itself, pardon the pun, it was an anomaly because it went down to like less than 2% the next month. For the most part under Trump, it was under 2%. It was well within norms.
Medium.
It should probably be even less than that, in all honesty, but he was doing a very good job economically.
Yeah. Okay. So you did a good job patting him on the back. What do you think that An0maly did wrong in the debate? Or if you had to criticize him, coach him, or even as a viewer? I want you to tell me from you and then from a viewer standpoint.
Well, from my standpoint, I would say it's not a good idea to insult the people that follow my material, because if you want me to get fiery, that's the way to do it. Other than that, I mean, I might chuckle at things, disagree, but you know, it's not going to get me specifically fired up. From a viewer's example, though, I'd say...
Can I cut you off right there?
Yeah.
Fired up. Did you get fired up during the interview?
A little bit, yeah.
You did?
I think he was too. And the funny thing is, I think it was right after I talked about you.
Because you mentioned,
just to be clear,
you mentioned me and you said I was non-combative.
Yeah.
Okay.
During your chat with him, your debate style, your conversational style, because I think you do more hosting of other people, is more conciliatory and non-combative. That is that you sit back and you listen with an open mind.
Right.
I that's not my debate style, though. I'm used to going into enemy territory. Yeah.
Okay. So what is that style? How do you like to come?
I like to do jabs, one-liners, and undermine the enemy at all costs.
Do you think that you did that well today?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
But I would say from a viewer standpoint, though, as you asked me, the problem is, I think because our views are relatively similar, I think we have a huge amount of audience overlap between myself and An0maly. So if you're saying that if a person is following or agreeing with my material has a 1-digit IQ, I can't imagine that he's not technically insulting some of his own fans. Honestly, I was confused as to why that statement would even be made.
Took that personal.
Yeah, I mean, on the level of certain viewers, I'm sure it was.
Think that was offensive?
I never insulted any viewers of his material or fans of his.
Right. Waste of Talent podcast, $4.99. Hotep and Bill. Make sure y'all go check out Waste of Talent podcast, one of the premier podcasts out. Khalid Cooper, $4.99. Appreciate you, homie. He said, "What up, Styx? You got fans in the building, Styx. You got fans in the building." Okay, so the insulting. All right. So you said you got a couple of one-liners, so on and so forth, and it got fiery, and then you started talking about the viewers from the viewer standpoint. What do you think the viewers should have taken away from today as how they viewed An0maly? I know they, offended with the whole IQ thing, but how do you think they should view him?
Oh, they don't need to change their view of An0maly necessarily. They should change their view of the subject.
I'm sorry. What do you think they saw today from An0maly?
Well, I mean, he broke down a couple of times, but overall, we were just debating. I think that they should take away from it maybe a different view on the actual subject, though, which was initially billed to be a debate over Trump's legacy. We meandered off of that. Mainly, it basically focused on COVID response on one hand and the nature of inflation on another. So an economic issue and a pandemic. Maybe they've changed their mind on those particular issues. I wouldn't ask anyone to be like, "Oh, I'm unsubscribing from An0maly. I don't agree with him," because I don't play that game.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
No. You said there was a reaction to you. You said he broke down a few times.
Yeah. On Twitter, I actually posted it on Twitter. Actually, there was like a 30-second clip there. I can't remember even the exact context. And go to it maybe, but he was like, it's hard to tell. Do you want me to link it to you or something like that?
You can read it.
It's not something. It's a video clip.
Oh, it's a video clip.
Yeah, I posted a quick recap of the debate. One of the many highlights at a Legendary Energy at Styx 666 official.
Oh, I saw that clip. Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't interpret the gotcha moment in that clip. So I was like, let me just go watch the debate. So I started watching it. And
it was a fun debate. I mean, I did have a great time. I think it's the best kill stream in modern memory, but I'm biased.
What were some of the haymakers you think you hit him with that he just didn't have a rebuttal for? Is there anything that sticks out?
I think on inflation, I kept hammering him. He kept returning to that specific issue, even though I had constantly debunked it. And I don't exactly know why, because I think he did that 5 separate times. Ultimately,
what? Just dancing around the point?
The idea that somehow Donald Trump was responsible for inflation that happened 15 months later and months after he had left the presidency. I was confused as to why it kept being brought up. Actually,
yeah. What else did you? Did you come prepared with any haymakers, or were you just wanted to come in and sort of counter some of the things that he brought up? Because I know he led off the debate.
The only thing that I had was I had the link that I dropped into the YouTube chat initially, which was actually a rebuttal to when you were debating him with regards to the Sweden lockdown. That was the only thing that I had come prepared with, that and the fact that I kind of knew basically how you debate. I had watched part of your debate with him. Other than that, I really like to wing it. It's just sort of the way that I make videos. Like if I have a script in front of me or even notes, it actually slows me down and makes me less effective, because I find I'm constantly referring to them and then I lose my train of thought because I've got like massive ADHD and spurg out and shit. So
yeah, that's actually true. That's actually a good point. I've learned that in debates. Yeah, you do a lot better without the notes.
Yeah.
I've tried it with the notes and without. It's better without the notes. Like you said, you kind of Diz $5 super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Thank you for stopping through. Styx, what did you expect to get out of this debate?
Well, I mean, initially it was just he had encouraged me to debate him, basically, and Ralph almost immediately pounced on that. I can't even remember the initial tweet.
Well, yeah, were you disagreeing with him on Twitter or something like that? And then
yeah, I know it was on Twitter. It was something to do with Trump and COVID, but I can't even remember the original post, to tell the truth. And he took exception. He had posted a tweet. I think I had responded to him, and then he had challenged me, and Ralph almost immediately jumped on that. And then, we just sort of scheduled it and went with it.
Interesting. Yeah, this was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, well, I think a few more than a couple of days, but yeah.
Okay, because it came across my radar. Shout out to Sketch Therapy in the chat, holding me down as a mods. Yeah, it just came across, and Lauren literally as well, my radar a couple of days ago. I don't know.
I think An0maly since then has been having a breakdown on Twitter, by the way. So there are lulls to have, and as well on YouTube. There's some coping going.
Well, I saw a poll. Who put that poll out? I think Killstream put the poll out.
There were several. There was also a poll by one of the people from RSBN, actually.
And how'd that poll look?
He got crushed.
He got crushed.
And the thing is, he had all the bravado, and he said, "Well, this will be an easy win for me. The loser has to shave his head. I have a feeling that the next time he makes a video, he'll have a full head of hair." And that's perfectly fine, by the way, because I never agreed to that particular stipulation because, that's middle school stuff. But I still thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's what y'all, that was part of the bet. Somebody was supposed to cut their hair?
But I never agreed to it. Someone else had suggested it, and he thought it was a fun idea, but I never officially agreed to it. So he doesn't have to cut his hair. And he does have cool hair. Let's admit, he has the long hair thing going on, so don't rob a man of his livelihoods.
I'm very familiar with the long hair movement. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Damn. So the poll said An0maly lost.
Let me check actually the ratio too. I don't even know.
Is there a ratio? Oh my God.
Yeah,
An0maly says he won though.
Well, he said that about your debate too. So, but all he did was talk over you and give non-examples. What's the ratio on the straw poll? Currently 84-16. So.
In favor of you. What are people saying? What are the people saying? People in the chat. What are people saying?
He's getting roasted on his own video about the subject, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I posted on Twitter.
Is this on YouTube?
It's a YouTube video. Yeah, he's co-posting a little bit.
What are people saying?
I almost feel bad grilling the guy too bad because it's like I don't even disagree with many of his
right, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. What are people saying? Why are people saying you won? Like that's what I really want to get to. Was it a particular policy or? He said because I did. But of course you're gonna say you won. I was watching the debate. I can't say there's a definitive winner for the 35 minutes. I can say that I think An0maly is he's got a lot of agility in the debate.
Yeah.
He knows how to duck. He knows how to duck. He's good at ducking. Nobody can duck a punch like An0maly.
Well, I mean, he still had some problems. No, I mean, literally, I think the problem in the debate is that he was trying to throw out 4 or 5 points at the same time. And of course, no matter how well you prepare, no matter how well spoken you are, how good at debating you are, if someone throws out 4 or 5 points and then talks over you when you start responding, it's impossible to get a word in edgewise. So what I had to do ultimately was artificially limit even what I responded to in some cases. Like if I have 4 or 5 points flung at me, on the fly, you have to prioritize. Becomes difficult.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Ralph Tour. I know his moderating style is very loose.
Hands off, yeah.
Yeah, and
I like that though.
I was about to say that. I do like that. It just, for those instances, I would love, my style is more like, all right, hold on, you made that point, yo, respond to that point. That's just, I'm a little bit more technical, but I don't think it makes as good as entertainment as just letting y'all just slug it out and just kind of just stepping in, because that's what Ralph does. He lets y'all slug it out, and when it gets too messy and y'all start hugging, he comes and he breaks it up, and it makes some great entertainment.
I think sometimes he was too busy laughing at some of the things that we said.
Having a good time. He was having a good time, and I don't blame him. Yeah. So it makes that difficult, for to respond to all those little points. You'd have to have a notebook ready and say, okay, he said this, and then go down,
Yeah, it'd be like the Democratic primary debates. Nobody would watch that. We probably had more viewers. Well, I mean, we have more viewers now probably than Joe Biden too. So.
Oh my God.
We're at 1.5 Biden levels at the moment. Everyone clank and celebration.
I mean, for An0maly is I wanted to find common ground, and I like him. I like the kid. Is it a debate style, the ad-hom?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're on the kill stream, it's understood that it's going to get dirty.
Okay.
And I like that kind of debate, because I was in the blood sports. Like I was in the debate between. You remember when Sargon and Richard Spencer had that debate?
Oh, okay.
That basically imploded YouTube, and I was there.
Okay.
And that's sort of my debating style. It's trashy. It's like a trailer park, cockfight or something like that. It's not this. It's not as refined as what you do, which is more like commentary, analysis. You've got more of the radio/podcast style, which is more conciliatory. And therefore, when someone comes on and just wants to trash you, it's going to be hard for you, because they're just going to throw 5 or 6 points out at the same time. And it's going to be difficult for you to even follow through, because they're trying to confuse you. They're trying to talk over you and stuff.
Yeah, I think in my debate, I think he came with that kill stream. Maybe that's that kill stream culture. And I just, I just wasn't in, that's just not how I.
And that's not a loss for you, because you were following entirely different parameters and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess, all right. So, because he always thought, he said y'all had single digit IQs. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was.
Oh, he told that to you too, or?
No. I mean, he insulted me in different ways, but, I'm just wondering, how do we score this bout? And for me, I would subtract, but in Killstream, it seems like ad-homs, he might get some points if they're funny or something like that.
Yeah. No, insults and ad-homs aren't necessarily bad. You just have to do them with finesse. The thing is, like, when you insult the entire viewing audience, because there's so much overlap between you and the person you're talking to, I couldn't even believe it when he was saying these things.
What did he say though? Like, what did he say that was like insulting the entire audience? I know, like
he was insinuating that people that followed my material had single digit IQs, or that they were all just a bunch of Trumpanzees, essentially. The problem is that there's a huge amount of overlap between our audiences. We both follow the same kind of material, say the same kinds of things. This is one of the few things that we actually have any considerable disagreement on, is Trump.
So what you're saying is, what sounds like to me is what you're saying is, because you guys have such an overlap of audiences, the audience likes both of you, right?
Yeah. To one degree or another, yes.
To one degree or another, right. So when he says, hey, if you follow Styx, in a way, he's insulting also people that follow him, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's got to be like probably a double-digit proportion of his own audience.
Oh, okay.
Especially, imagine the kind of people that are going to show up to watch both of us debate lopsidedly are going to be fans of us both. If you're a fan of both people debating, then you're extra, you're going to quit, you're going to call off time for work just to watch the debate or something like that.
The chat weigh in.
And then I was looking at what he said about the Capitol protests, the January 6th incident. I couldn't even believe it.
What about the insurrection?
Yeah, with regards to like Trump leading people in there. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you voted for a dude, but then you think that he tried to overthrow the government at the same time. But you'd vote for him again over Biden, but you'd prefer DeSantis, who has essentially endorsed Trump. And it just gets too confusing.
I think you took a stab at him. I think you said something like something to the effect of, he's hopping off the Trump train because, something to the effect of Trump's stock is low. What did you say? Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, the idea is like, I think that he has counted Trump out. I think he believes that Trump won't be back in politics and is, inevitably a declining force within U.S. society. And so that part of his decision with regards to his political and career trajectory has to do with that, because he thinks that a few years from now, Trump is going to be an afterthought and there'll be some other Republican and he can make up a reason to back them, or maybe the Democrats, maybe the LP, whatever, but that he's sort of riding the gravy train. And I don't know, I don't claim a gnosis of that being true. I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility.
We over here in Hotep world, we would call that grifting. Right?
Yeah.
And there's the good side and the bad side to the grifting. It's just like the force, right? There's a good side and there's the Sith, right? So it's like, are you using your powers for good or using it for bad, right? But you could still be grifting. It seems like you accused him of grifting, as we use the term loosely. Seems like you're basically saying it's bandwagon support.
No, I'm not accusing him of grifting. I'm saying that he's career conscious.
This is a career decision for An0maly.
I'm saying that I believe that he might be career conscious. And it's not even like, you can't even blame the dude. If you're doing the analysis thing and you've gotten big based on modern political analysis, you're trying to keep that up. As long as he's being accurate in his analysis and stuff, I don't really give a damn. Yeah. What I'm saying is that he has made, in my opinion, a calculated judgment that Trump is not going to re-enter politics and is on his way out. And so he doesn't feel as compelling, and maybe it just weighs on his analysis because he doesn't feel there's a compelling reason to particularly back Trump, if you know what I mean. Because he's counting him out. So even if Trump is right or anything like that, it doesn't matter because, he wouldn't be a dynamic force within politics.
Uncle Hotep 499 said the grift don't stop. Unc, I'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. Hotep's been told you. I will see you tonight. Hotep's been told you. We got a fiery episode to talk about. Crypto Wendy, $20. Shout out to Crypto Wendy, yo. We have a show together every Wednesday right here. Make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. If Trump comes back 2024, if you had to place your chips and bet on An0maly, do you think An0maly bets or votes for Trump and gets back on the train, assuming that MAGA starts to have that steam it had back? Do you think he backs MAGA or do you think he continues down this path?
That totally depends on who's running against Trump. And by the way, the same would be true for me, technically speaking. Okay. If the Democrats, let's say the Democrats resurrected John F. Kennedy or someone who actually had some common sense, even if they can't keep it in their pants.
Okay.
Well, I'd vote for them.
Okay.
But the thing is, looking at the current Dem field, there's no one with any common sense. I would default to Trump. I think the same would be true of him. He has to use his own judgment at that time.
You have to use your own judgment at that time.
If it were Kamala,
let's say it looked exactly like the 2016 election.
Okay, so Hillary's the opponent, or is it Kamala?
Hillary-esque.
So Kamala. I think he would vote for Trump over Kamala. Yeah.
Okay.
But wouldn't literally anyone? It'd be a 50-state sweep.
So you vote.
Yeah.
You believe in the power of that.
Yeah, I think people are crazy if they don't vote.
Okay. So you and An0maly were both Trump voters.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. I was not a Trump voter.
Yeah.
I wasn't a voter, period.
You mean in 2016, 2020, or both?
2016, 2020, both.
Yeah. I voted for Trump in both. I voted for Ron Paul before that in 2012 because I couldn't stand Romney or Obama. I voted Obama in 2008. That was the first time that I voted because I was young and dumb. I claim my youthful indiscretion for voting for Obama. But I learned the error of my ways and voted for Ron Paul, doomed as he may have been.
It's no problem there. No problems there.
Well, he was the most qualified. So
absolutely. Absolutely. One Suit Senpai, $10 super chat, said, motivating that good minds are getting together. Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers, cheers. Your favorite flex $5 said, why do people keep conflating inflation with price increases? Ooh. Intelligent person, everybody pay attention. When new money is printed, inflation happens instantly. Then price increases follow. Ooh,
exactly.
Bars. Steph Colonel, $5 super chat. Said, I wrote An0maly off after he debated Hotep Jesus and became disrespectful. His rhetoric belittling Hotep Jesus and this platform was way uncalled for. Felt a little I felt some type of way when he dissed me. But he's young. He's young, and I have to understand that there's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line, and I think Styx would agree with this. There's a lot on the line when you step on those debate stages. You hop on Kill Stream and everybody's watching. There's a lot of pressure. Would you say so, Styx?
It depends on who you're debating or who you're chatting with, but yeah, in general.
Did you feel any pressure when you were debating An0maly?
No. I expected to initially. In reality, having watched not just that, but some of his commentary, he's well spoken.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to be less coherent than Richard Spencer, but.
Wait, did you just say he's less coherent than Richard Spencer?
Yeah.
Wow. One hell of a charge.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's true. So that Richard Spencer could generally maintain some degree of coherency and certainly didn't insult my entire audience. So
did you debate Richard Spencer?
Twice.
Oh, wow.
I've debated Fuentes. I debated Dyer. I've debated a whole bunch of people. I find it hilarious when the breadliners claim that I'm afraid to debate people.
Those some big names. Some big names.
I think Fuentes was technically the hardest.
Yeah. We
weren't even debating politics. It was a religious debate about he's a Catholic and I'm a pagan. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was great.
Wow. So you weren't nervous in this debate. Do you think An0maly was nervous?
No, I don't think he was nervous.
Okay.
I think he was headstrong.
Do you feel like there was any pressure? Did he feel any pressure? Was there any pressure for him to perform?
No, I don't think he felt under pressure either. I just think he underestimated me severely.
You guys are superhuman to me.
Why?
Because I was nervous for the An0maly debate. I felt some sort of pressure. I felt the pressure to perform, and you guys are like, nah, I ain't feel no fucking pressure. Fuck him. This is like, damn, you guys are just some titans. And
generally, just with debate and stuff, it's just sort of like after years and years of being a troll on the internet and stuff and spending hours conversing with people and developing like sharpening yourself to jab, to do the one-liners and stuff. It just sort of comes naturally after some point. It's fun. It's hilarious.
I think I can't say for you, but I think An0maly felt at least some pressure. I think he felt some pressure. I don't think he was nervous, and I don't think he figured there was maybe not nervous, but I think there was some pressure because of the ad hocs. Sometimes I believe when you're so cool, calm, collected, and you just so cavalier that you're going to win, you don't even got a punch below the belt because it's such an easy win. You know what I mean?
At some point, that's what I was trying to do. Because, like, I don't want to berate the dude because we do, we share 90% of our beliefs. But
you said at some point that's what you wanted to do. So then what did you become? What form did you take on?
Well, no, it was more like I didn't intend to do any low blows or anything. And he was. By the way, I think he intends to go live or some shit.
Is this breaking news?
Yeah,
is that breaking news?
Some minutes ago, actually.
Oh, some minutes ago. Okay, yeah. Wonderful.
I don't know now.
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll be quite the live stream.
It could be the pressure. It could be the pressure.
No, I literally I got to defend the dude on this one. I don't think that he felt intimidated or pressured by me.
Not intimidated.
Yeah,
not intimidated.
But I don't think he would have felt any pressure against anyone, though. He doesn't seem the kind of person who would be like when he's sort of into the fit stuff, and he's obviously got self-control. I don't think he's the kind of person who would feel any particular pressure in debating or conversing or anything.
Yeah,
he's got that pretty well put together. I think
maybe I'm just displacing my own emotions onto him because I feel pressure when these things happen. All of my debates, I feel tremendous amounts of pressure prior to.
But you're more used to hosting and conversing in the more normal sense, right? So
yeah, and I think for me the outcome is always, I want to find middle ground. I'm not really too keen on winning the debates. When I was younger, I think that was more my thing. Like, I gotta win, and I would resort to the ad homs. But how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, yeah.
How old are you?
I turned 41 this year in October. Yeah, so
aging well, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So for me,
I would have guessed you were my age, in all honesty.
Oh man, you're flattering me on channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think when you're young, like you guys, I think that's why sometimes I like watching that stuff because you guys kind of get dirty. Yeah. I don't have any of that left in me. For me, it's like I'm more worried about, what happens after this. How do we proceed as a people? And that's why I asked you before, what are the viewers supposed to take away from debates?
Yeah.
What do you hope for when you go into your debates? What do you hope the viewers go away with in any debate, in your debates and other people's debates? What should they come away with?
Yeah. My hope is always that they just know something that's more truthy than what they thought before. But a lot of times that's in the eye of the beholder. That's the problem with a lot of debates, is that it's over something that's totally subjective. That's why when in our debate, mainly I was focusing on things that are less subjective. Yeah. Like the inflation rate month over month. Well, that's easily measured. It's publicly documented. It's capable of being looked up by any person. Yeah. That's, you can say it's meaningless or that it's part of a subjective human measure of value, but the number itself, what it stands for, is objective. Yeah. It's fixed. Yeah. So that's sort of what I wanted to dwell on. And at some points we ended up going off into left field and dwelling on things that were completely different. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it happens in a heated debate. Yeah. No, I like An0maly. An0maly is one of the first people, one of the first people to put, the Hoteps and me out there, So shout out to his work. Rajan, $5 super chat. He said, why did you avoid Destiny in a debate and then talk to him when there was a group debate? Is this true? I believe he's talking to you because I don't know what Destiny. Yeah, you see, he's talking to me. That's misleading. And the Destiny fans have been rambling about this for the better part of several years. What happened is that Destiny actually, me and him got into it. And initially I had planned to debate him, but then I got warning from a third party, which was a mutual who was also on his Discord, that it was not in good faith. And the ultimate plan was to try to deplatform me. So I decided ultimately to just cut it off. And people have, his fans will say like, well, who was it who gave you this info? Yeah, like I'm going to name the person. I'd rather you just not believe me because I'm not going to rat out anybody. Yeah. Okay. Mike Nificent, $5 super chat. What up, Styx and Hotep? You won that debate easily. That's what Mike Nificent says. It says easily. Wow. Vouch, Rajan, $2 super chat.
Thank you, appreciate you. Thank you for not grifting. 523 in the room. 275 likes. We're gonna start to head round home here. Styx. I'm gonna finish the debate. I'll try my best. It's really hard. Because I'm a fan of debates where people actually counter the points. And you know, a lot of times people just aren't countering the points. To me, it's just like, what are we listening for? You know?
Yeah.
And I think An0maly does a good job of that. You know, sort of like, you know, you made a good point, and I'm just gonna like talk for 5 minutes and then ignore that point that you made. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, An0maly is he's definitely not a poor debater. He's quite good at it. And it's just that if you know the basic underlying structure behind debate strategy and you've studied psyops and linguistics, you can recognize the strategies that are being employed, and then you can deploy countermeasures.
You pointed out a couple. Can you name one of those? I forget what you said.
Well, low-hanging fruit would be straw men.
Okay.
Ad hominem attacks. But those are based like anyone who's taken like Logic 001 would have memorized those. Also sloganeering, the use of the same basic concept of term over and over. The best example I can give people, watch the debate. I think it was the second Republican primary debate of 2016, the one where Chris Christie pointed out Marco Rubio was using sloganeering when he was using his, I can't remember exactly what he was saying because it's not as memorable. And then Chris Christie cut him down to size by saying, oh, look, there's the 30-second scripted response. And Marco Robato was born out of this. Excellent linguistic kill shot. Scott Adams, I'm sure, was very pleased. The idea is that you have repeated the same concept over and over with similar words to try to drive it home, to get it to drive into a person's memory. The problem is that if you do this and it's too obvious and the person calls it out, as Christie did with Rubio and as I did with An0maly, not only does it fall flat, it starts to look robotic. It actually becomes dead weight. It'll destroy you completely if it gets called out. That's why people should be very, very active when they listen to political debates of any kind, especially with career politicians. So essentially, An0maly's Marco Rubio.
Oh. You're saying he has these scripted responses?
In his case, it's not scripted. It's just that he memorizes a couple of kill shots beforehand because he's doing extensive prepping, and then he goes with them. But as soon as you point them out, they become meaningless. If anything, they become cringy. Does that make me Chris Christie? Because then I need to like eat 500 donuts, so it's gonna be a problem.
So after you point it out, does he still resort to them?
Yeah, it was still resorted to several times. That and the idea of 35% of the money being printed in a single year in 20. Yeah, that one was brought up a dozen times. So
yeah, he brought that up.
But that's because the idea is that it will be effective, but it stops being effective once it's pointed out that you've brought it up 20 times.
Yeah. What do you think about that? The fact that Trump was tied to that?
Well, I mean, Trump's not the head of the Fed. I told An0maly this. I disagreed with the CARES Act. I did not want more money printed because I never thought there should be an extended lockdown. Once it was clear that COVID wasn't, a boogeyman and wasn't going to kill everyone, we should have done literally nothing whatsoever. We still should be doing nothing whatsoever to this day. That being said, that's not what caused the massive inflation. The bump of inflation, the couple months thereafter was like, 0.5? It wasn't even 1%. I mean, it still existed. It's not like it didn't inflate the currency. It's just that the damage that was done was massively lower than what Biden is doing in every possible way.
Right. Closing thoughts on the debate. What do you want the people watching to go home away with today in regards to this debate between you two titans, An0maly and Styx? Yeah.
Well, if I tell them to go home with peace in their hearts, that means that they'll go and burn the Capitol to the ground, apparently. So I would say this, just because if you watch the debate, if you think An0maly won, it doesn't mean you need to hate my material. If you think I won, you don't need to hate An0maly's material. We're both independent content creators. We share 90% of our views. I'm going to roast the dude. Of course, I'm going to bust his balls because I beat him in a debate, but that doesn't mean I dislike the dude. So people shouldn't take it the wrong way. There's always rivalry between creators, but it's not that kind of bad blood that you get in some parts of the world.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So it's no bad blood. You heard it here, people. They, two men intellectually fought, and Styx has declared himself the winner. And the polls, at least two of the polls that Styx brought up, one I witnessed, have Styx up in the polls. Keo Beats 999 super chat said, Styx, would you debate Eric July about states seceding from the union because America is too culturally divided? He want more free market and government, more competing firms. Did you understand that? Would
I debate him? Maybe. I don't know anything about him, so I'd have to look it up. But yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not. Even though I like debates, I only do it sparingly because a lot of times I don't have the fucking time.
Yeah, I totally feel you. That's something I would debate you on. Is like, why are you even fucking dealing with this government shit? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you believe in succession, or?
I wouldn't go that far.
I believe in conquest.
I wouldn't go that far. My issue is the fact that why was there a confederation to begin with?
Yeah. I believe in conquest more than secession. I think that secession is basically ceding land to an enemy, and you should crush your enemy instead and take theirs. I believe in conquest. Let's invade Canada.
Colonization.
Well, no, just conquest. Let's invade Canada.
And then what?
Well, then we own Canada. There's plenty of extra land. Who cares? We got oil, maple syrup.
Well, so after you take all of this and you have the maple syrup in the land, what shall you do with the people?
Well, they can have the maple syrup too.
What about your customs?
If you've got maple syrup, everything's fine. But they've got to import Vermont maple trees. That's the important part. So I'm kind of kidding here, but the real point that I would make, I don't believe in ceding ground to an enemy. When you secede, what you're saying is okay, you've defeated us, you've overrun this large piece of land that we've got, but we're going to take this smaller piece of land, give you the rest of it, and we're just going to lord over this so that you're outside and we're inside. But then what you've done is you've set yourself up to be conquested in the future. All you've done is kick the can down the road. You've become civically or racially or religiously or whatever pure, but you'll eventually be completely destroyed and you are doomed.
Because you gave up that ground.
Yeah, secession is automatically doomed. They name a movement in history that seceded in that manner, that didn't have empty land like the United States in the 1700s or something like that. That actually succeeded and that we remember their leaders as being noble and brave and wonderful people. No, we remember them as being the losers, basically.
Would you count the United States as a secession?
Well, no, not in that sense, because 99% of the land area of the North American continent was empty at the time. The problem is that...
So that's conquest.
Yeah, that was conquest.
Okay.
Fundamentally, once they had achieved their independence, the rest was all conquest.
Let's take Texas, for example. Texas says, I no longer want to be a part of the United States.
Mm-hmm. That would be secession. That's not conquest. Not unless they invade Mexico.
Okay.
Or New Mexico.
So you're saying that would leave them susceptible or vulnerable to conquest? Yeah. Walk me through that 21st century style.
Well, their manpower is less, their land area is less. They have to reestablish 100% of all their diplomatic ties, and then they have to inevitably fall under the umbrella of one of the great powers in the world, which would be, in that case, likely the United States. So, all they would be, they'd be a U.S. vassal at that point. It wouldn't make any sense. I know, everything's bigger in Texas. You're the size of France and so forth. Okay, that's true. You get a lot of oil. I've been to Texas. Texas is fucking great, but it's not as large or as powerful as the United States. It's better for Texans to simply use their state power to influence U.S. foreign policy, in all honesty.
It's a great point, Styx. It's a great point. So Keo Beach, you got your question just answered right there. Cynic in Chief, $5 super chat. I'm not gonna read that, bro. I don't want to do An0maly like that. Let's be nice, man. Rajan, $2 super chat. Thank you. Canadians. Rajan, you're sending us Canadian dollars, and Styx wants to conquer your country.
Exactly. Give me that money. I will buy syrup.
Shout out to Wasted Talent Podcast. It says Styx got scared of a fat troll communist vouch. What is Rajan, one of your trolls? Is this one of your trolls coming through?
The timeline with Vouch is that he had made a video about me before I even knew who he was, completely lambasting me. And in reaction to that, in part, I made a video about how the breadliners, I would never bother to debate them because their whole thing is a grift. They want to get platformed by people with bigger platforms than theirs. He completely spurred out, made a video about me, talking about how I was cowardly. I had ran before him. His fans went on a rampage. And I'm sitting there laughing my ass off at some of the comments I'm getting. Some of these people, even now, almost a year later, are still literally, I still get DMs from some of these people because they're so desperate for me to platform them. That's the entire grift. Vouch's entire grift is to get people to talk about him or bring them onto a show to debate him, after which he can basically make money off of them.
Okay. Gotcha. MGTOW, $4.99 super chat. MGTOW, Michigander. Styx, would you do a live chat with Razorfish?
I actually had him on in the 2018 midterms. He was one of the guests. But yeah, I would have him on. I'd also go on a live stream if he had one.
Yeah. Interesting. Styx, thank you very much for coming on the platform. Double thank you for thinking of me and saying, hey, I need to talk to Hotep Jesus about this.
I knew you'd be interested.
You just knew, I just couldn't turn this opportunity to grift down. I mean, I think it's fair. My name was brought up several times during the event, so I think, yeah. Well, possibly, I'm just thankful that you thought of me. Some people would allow my name to float and not think of me, and you have thought of me. You are a benevolent individual, and you deserve all your praise. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Styx. Such a kind soul. Everybody, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Styx, where can people find you?
They can find me right here on YouTube or pretty much everywhere else on the internet.
Awesome.
Just look up Styx X and Hammer.
Styx X and Hammer. What does that even mean?
It's just Styx is the marsh in hell. It's an allusion to Dante's Inferno. And Hex and Hammer is the German name for Malleus Maleficarum, which is the hammer of the witches. It was the premier witch hunting guide of the Burning Times.
Rich white culture.
Yeah. Specifically European, not in the Americas at the time, mostly.
Shout out to Ken.
Other than Salem.
Shout out to Ken Hotep, $4.99 super chat. Said, salute to Styx, intellectual black belt. Your argument was brilliant. Sherry D, $5 super chat. Said, An0maly was live a couple hours ago. His comment section is tearing him up. Styx. Coffee spoon.
I can't wait to see.
Awesome. Tonight, people will be live with Uncle Hotep for Hotep's Been Told You. I'm your host, Hotep Jesus. Make sure you subscribe. We are out of here.
August 26th through the 28th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotep Nation Weekend. The world will never be the same. Get your tickets and be a part of the first ever Hotep Nation Weekend. Hotep Nation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization designed to spread the philosophy of hard work and self-care, will be hosting a weekend in Vegas with live podcasts, panels, pool party, and much more. Exclusive meet and greets with major figures in the Hotep community, including Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, President Doe Dudes, and other special guests. Network and build bridges in the Hotep community. Enjoy Vegas with a cool group of people. All of this can be found at the Hotep Nation Convention. So who is this for? Are you looking to build up your community? This is for you. Are you looking to expand business opportunities? This is for you. Are you looking for an opulent time with nation builders? This is for you. Hotep Nation's first annual convention in Las Vegas, this August 26th through the 28th. All information can be found in the description below. You won't want to miss this.